somewhere else, but this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of the local show here on GrassRoots Community Network. I'm Erik Skarvan, your host. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're each week here live in Aspen, Colorado. We feature inspirational locals. And what I mean by that is people pursuing their dreams, having success, sharing that with you guys. I'm so excited to talk about a topic today, the environment, which I absolutely love. And really excited to welcome a first-time guest, Ainsley Brosnan-Smith.
Hi, thank you
welcome,
for having
Ainsley.
me. Thank you.
And Ainsley, I want to get this right, is the Waste Diversion and Recycling Administrator for the City of Aspen Environmental Health and Sustainability. I got to take a breath.
It's a huge title.
So you help care for the environment.
Yes.
And keep things clean and turn people on to kind of the newest ways they can get involved in helping, right?
Right. It's one of my favorite topics also is sustainability and environment and what we can do in our everyday life to reduce that impact that we have on the environment. So the birds can keep singing, the trees can keep growing, all that good stuff.
And pikas can keep chirping.
Yes,
Because
the pikas.
we were talking before the show, I want to shrink my carbon footprint to the size of a pika's footprint.
Yeah, you
Which,
might
by
have
the way,
to
the cutest
live
little
under a
mountain
rock.
guys.
They are so cute, but you might have to live under a rock to achieve that one.
Up at about 13,000 feet,
Yeah,
where the pikas
exactly.
like to live. So for me, that would be my small cabin in the mountains someday.
That sounds nice.
Working on it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to start with something kind of fun and basic as your first time on the show.
Sure.
Kind of some background highlights, including your Aspen story.
Sure.
Which is kind of like, how did you land in Aspen and
Yeah.
what preceded that to lead up?
Yeah, so I got my Bachelor's of Science in Natural Resources Conservation at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, which is Western Mass.
Okay.
And then when I was in school there, I was participating in extracurriculars with their sustainability department. And they gave me the title of Waste Reduction. I was like an intern or something for their department, and I had no idea anything about waste. And I was like, oh, this is kind of lame. But then I learned to love it because, as you'll learn, it's extremely interesting and something we can do in our everyday life to reduce the impact on the environment. From there, I also knew I wanted to work in the government and do some sort of policy push to get us over the line with like all our climate goals. And I got my master's in public policy from UMass Amherst. After that, I was involved in some nonprofits, some other government agencies working on land conservation, waste reduction, all that fun stuff. And then I knew I wanted to have a full-time career in waste diversion, and especially I'm really passionate about composting and food waste reduction, keeping that out of the landfill. I was searching all different job boards. I found this job, which I was previously the specialist, and now I am the administrator, but I found this job, and I applied for it, and I loved it, and then I was like, let me look into Aspen to see, what is Aspen? I was like, oh my God, like this place is beautiful. So I got the job, and then I moved here, which is kind of reverse from what people usually do, is they want to move to Aspen and then they find a job.
And they just figure out the job thing, as an
so
aside.
I was pretty lucky with this one because I was like, I want this job, and it happens to be in this really awesome place.
Wow. Had you grown up in Massachusetts as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
born and raised in
So you
Massachusetts.
went in-state. And then were you like an outdoor kid? Were you like one of those kids like me where you didn't come home till after dark in the summer and you just wanted to be outside all the time?
Well, I lived in
you-
a suburb, so it was like
Okay.
houses and infrastructure, and there wasn't too much nature around me.
Okay.
I did play outside a bunch, but it wasn't until, honestly, I went to college in Western Mass where it's forested and mountainous, not as mountainous compared to here.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what the world is without like cement and houses everywhere. And that's where I just got addicted to being outside.
Wow. Yeah, so that college experience was crucial.
It was crucial.
Because like now you're like appreciating the outdoors. And you're like, I want to care about the outdoors.
Yeah.
Which is also another topic of when we place people in these outdoor or nature connections, they appreciate it and are more apt to then want to do something, right? To protect it, to care about it.
Yeah, it's just about getting outside, getting on that trail, and like seeing what life is outside of like the human urban infrastructure, and getting that appreciation for it. And I don't know. And it's just like it releases a ton of serotonin in your mind too, so it just feels nice to be out there.
Yeah, I think there might be some dopamine going on
Yeah.
there. And if you're exercising, a few endorphins playing around
Yeah,
in there. It's kind of a natural high. And then we know about like forest bathing, Shinroku, they call it in Japan. But there's also a proven benefit of just connecting with nature. I mean, we called it tree hugging back in the 60s and 70s. You know, I'm a baby of the 60s. And there is actually some philosophy in Taoism that there's power connecting, like touching a tree, which is right along the same lines of thinking. You connect with nature.
Yeah.
But isn't that a big part of it? Just like all
So
the
big.
benefits of connecting to nature?
Yeah, it definitely is, and it makes you happier. Also, there's like a ton of studies on it, like trying to get green spaces in cities because the trees release the oxygen and it cools down the area, and then also it's more relaxing to be around the natural landscape.
So soothing. And like
Yeah.
when you hear the aspens, like in the fall, it's perhaps my favorite
nice.
time when they're quaking. It's called the quaking
Mm-hmm.
aspens, and you hear that wind coming through, and they're yellow and gold leaves, and
So
it's
nice.
just there's something about it that's magical.
So I've only been here for a year. I moved here last May in 2021.
It's amazing.
So I've had one fall here, but everyone keeps talking to me about New England fall because that's where I'm from. And I'm like, I don't know. The fall here is really special.
Yeah.
That yellow is like nothing I've ever seen before with the blue sky and the mountains. It's just, and then the white clouds, all of it.
And the people kind of disappear too. So it's not only gorgeous, like stunning. It's like, how could there be no one out here on the trail? Now, we don't want to talk about this too much.
Yeah. My secret
That's why we
trails.
don't identify locations anymore
Yeah.
on social media. We don't need people inundating.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a quick break, Ainsley. We have so much to get to, including
Yes.
composting.
Yes, we do.
And so much more. I want to take a break to acknowledge our summer underwriters, including the City of Aspen, Gonzo Nation, Haiti Children, Klug Foundation, Chris Klug Properties, Highlands Ale House, Picken County Solid Waste Center, and Sundog Athletics. I think I got them all there from memory. We're going to go to our only break of the show. As I said, guys, it's 2 minutes. We'll be right back with Ainsley and how you guys can get involved in caring for the environment, so don't go away. Support for the local show comes from the City of Aspen, reminding you that you can significantly reduce your carbon footprint by composting food scraps. When food is buried in the landfill, it produces extremely potent greenhouse gas emissions that adds to the trapping of heat in our atmosphere. You can become a climate change warrior by joining our compost program today. Learn more at aspen.gov.
The Gonzo Foundation is a nonprofit organization created to promote literature, journalism, and political activism through the legacy of Hunter S. Thompson, and is a proud supporter of the local show and GrassRoots TV. For more information, visit thegonzofoundation.org.
Locally owned and located at the base of Aspen Highlands, Highlands Ale House features delicious scratch-made comfort food, cocktails, beer, and more. Their sunny outdoor deck is ski in, ski out. 2 miles from Aspen, they're open daily, winter and summer.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Donate, shop, and save. The Mother Lode Mercantile, now open at the Picken County Landfill.
Celebrating our 26th anniversary, Sundog Athletics is your opportunity to experience Aspen's most amazing adventure locations and gain new skills to increase your safety, performance, and enjoyment while mountain biking, road biking, hiking, and paddling on Aspen's exclusive canoeing adventure. Like Sundog Athletics on Facebook for fresh adventure updates.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Thanks for sticking with us here, guys, on the local show. We have Ainsley Brosnan-Smith in the house from the City of Aspen Environmental Health and Sustainability
Hello.
Department.
Hi.
Thanks for being here, Ainsley.
No problem. I'm going to give a shout out to David, who's watching at home.
Yes, David, you better be watching
I know.
now. We're holding you accountable, buddy. So thanks for watching, and thanks for everyone who's tuning in this week. It's really exciting to talk about the environment, something that we are so passionate about.
Yeah.
So many locals are so passionate about. We moved here because of the
Yeah,
environment,
right.
basically.
Yeah.
You know, and we made sacrifices too. Like a lot of us could have been in other places, maybe making more money.
Paying less in rent. Yeah.
Paying, having a house where we're gonna have 18 kids running around, like little monkeys and all that.
Yeah.
And we live in smaller places, which we may have
Yeah.
a chance to talk about, living kind of minimalist and tiny. But I wanted to start out, your department is called Environmental Health and Sustainability. What are kind of the key components you guys focus on
Yeah.
with environmental health and sustainability?
Sure. Well, environmental health, as it started as environmental health and then branched into sustainability. Environmental health is just working with kind of issues related to noise, smoke, so air quality, food, so making sure there's retail food licenses and their kitchens are up to code, that kind of area of
Food
life.
sanitation
Yes,
and
food safety. And then the sustainability part of it and our climate action part of it is waste diversion and anything under the sun greenhouse gas emission. So our big projects right now are Building IQ, which is Ordinance recently passed, trying to get buildings to measure how much energy they're using and then slowly chip away at like what can we fix in that building to reduce the amount of energy it's like consuming and using.
Yes. So you guys are getting that baseline information
We need
now.
the information first to see where are we at to then improve from
And that's
there.
required, right? For commercial building owners, basically?
I don't know that's
or tenants
someone
or
else's, some other administrator's project, but
Right.
yeah, it's
That's
right now. I
important.
think it's the commercial buildings, and then it's like kind of phased incrementally for then what other data we collect from smaller buildings along the way, and then it's having them become more efficient, replacing some technology, what's like really sucking the energy out of that.
Right, because buildings are such a huge contributor
Yeah.
to greenhouse gases. And
Yeah, cradle to grave, we'll talk about what the construction and demolition of those buildings also
Right.
cause.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a big topic of concern.
Yeah, it is. And then we also have our water efficiency programs. So getting people to reduce their water usage, so irrigation, setting those standards. And then I'm missing, EV, so electric vehicles. So we're working on trying to electrify the grid and also electrify the city with our cars and the city's fleet of vehicles. So moving in that direction of all electric, and then also installing charging stations around town. So there's actually a place to charge up your car if we're going to make you have one.
Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer when you run out of low on battery and you can't make it home.
I know, I
It's like-
know.
So the plug-in station is the infrastructure that incentivizes that.
Yes, getting that in the ground first is definitely necessary before we have all these cars here, because we need to supply that energy to the car.
Right. And you mentioned composting, and that's a kind of a personal interest of yours as well.
Definitely.
And, we have this award-winning Scraps program. And can you tell people a little bit about Scraps and maybe how
Sure.
they can easily get involved?
So waste diversion, in essence, what it is just reducing the amount of waste you're putting in your trash can, because from your trash can, it is then going into the landfill, which is this big, my friend calls it a ravioli, a big trash ravioli where it's lined on the bottom. This is landfill, and then you put your material in, and then it's lined again, and it's just like all cased in there.
Okay.
So once all your trash gets in the landfill, it's there forever, and it doesn't break down naturally as you might think. So if you have a banana and it goes into the landfill, it's not breaking down overnight. It's gonna take the statistics are crazy on it, anywhere from like 5 to 20 years to break down organic waste. And as it's breaking down, it's going through this process called anaerobic digestion. Anaerobic just means without oxygen, because it's suffocated in this trash ravioli basically in the ground, and it releases a greenhouse gas emission called methane. And methane is a kicker because it's about anywhere, depending on how long it's in the environment and what part of the atmosphere it's in, it's anywhere from 37 to 80 times, or 32 to 87 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So when your organics are in that landfill decomposing or breaking down anaerobically, releasing that methane is going into our atmosphere, and it's extremely harmful. But on the bright side of things, here in Aspen, we have the opportunity to keep that food waste out of the landfill and into composting. So composting is the process of breaking down that organic material naturally in an aerobic, so oxygen environment, and then it breaks down and it kind of looks like this soily, mulchy kind of thing. And you can apply that to your soil, and compost has so much nutrients in it, and it's really good at pulling carbon actually from the atmosphere and holding water because it's super chunky, and it just like has all these little avenues that water can sit into.
Okay.
So it's not only keeping, by diverting your organic waste from the landfill, not only are you keeping methane out of the atmosphere, you're putting it into compost that then when compost is applied to the natural environment, acts as a carbon sink and brings down carbon and retains water and promotes healthy plant growth. So it's this full circle, really cool opportunity that we can participate here in Aspen. And by doing that, you have a couple of options. I know Kathy Hall was on here, who is the manager of the Picken County Solid Waste Center. And you can bring your organic waste up to the landfill for free and just dump it in their little compost pile, and they'll process it into the compost. Or you can hire Evergreen Zero Waste or Mountain Waste to collect your organic scraps from either your curbside, or if you live in a residential community, talk to your property manager or housing authority about getting a compost dumpster there, and neighbors and things like that can participate in it. I don't remember the charge off my head, but it is a monthly cost.
Yeah.
I think it's about like $27, $30 a month for residents to put a little bucket and have it picked up. If it's a larger receptacle, it's more than that. And then the next option is, this is very new to Aspen. We have just started a free organic drop-off center. And if you want to learn more about that free organic drop-off opportunity, contact me, City of Aspen, Ainsley, Brosnan-Smith, work in the Environmental Health and Sustainability Department. Give us a call, check out our website, give me an email, and I'll let you know how to participate in that. And basically what it is you got your organic waste, you go to the centralized location in Aspen, you punch in the key code. We have to keep it locked because the bears are sniffing around it, and bear safety is number one, and human safety. And so give me an email, call, and I'll let you know how to access that. So you drop off your organic waste in there for free, and that gets taken to the landfill for composting.
Which is a big deal because people, like I know, have been looking for that spot because, say, like we're lucky our HOA has containers in our dumps, separated in our dumpster sheds.
Yeah.
So they're safe, they're protected from bears. But many neighbors don't, and they don't necessarily want to pay for the monthly pickup either. I mean, they might just be working locals on really tight budgets. So looking for that drop-off spot, like you said, it's a centralized location where they can drop their compost, like their food scraps. And so what's included in that? Is that also like yard waste, like grass and stuff?
So here in Aspen, we actually have a yard waste ban ordinance, meaning you are not legally allowed to put yard waste in the trash. It all has to be brought to the landfill or the solid waste center, also the landfill, interchangeable terms.
Yeah, we learned a little bit about that. It is interchangeable. They're using both Picken County Landfill and Picken County Solid Waste Center.
Because it is the landfill, but they do so much more. They have so many different avenues, like the composting and the yard waste. So it goes up there where they can chip down that yard waste into mulch. But as I said, Aspen, it's legally, you're not supposed to be putting organic yard waste in the trash, and that is included in compost or organic waste. So when you think about organics and compost, it's anything that is naturally occurring, that is growing in the environment, is what can be then broken down and reapplied into the environment. So all these natural materials, natural food, and there are these new things that I'm sure many of you have seen all the time, the compostable cups, the compostable plates, the compostable cutlery, that can all be processed here at the Picken County Solid Waste Center. Sometimes there's rules on saying like, oh, has to be commercially composted. What that means is it just needs to go to like this big industrial site where they have the machinery to break it down.
Okay.
Because those cups and plates are made out of cornstarch, which if we had backyard composting here, which we don't because of wildlife issues, it wouldn't break down in your backyard compost the way like banana peels and different things like that naturally break down. It needs a little more churning and slicing and
processing
to get it,
and stuff.
processing to get it down. But yeah, so food scraps, meat and bones, good.
Okay.
They have to say certified compostable, because unfortunately there's a lot of material on the market today that say made with plants, made from plants.
Yeah, and it can be
green.
confusing to people.
Yeah, and those are actually marketing, just trying to like get people to buy the green choice, and they have mixtures of plastics in them. So you want to really look for the BPI certified compostable label to make sure it's compostable.
Okay.
So, yep, so food, meat, bones, compostable products, any sort of yard waste, napkins that were used. You can't recycle soiled napkins or paper towels because they're already kind of breaking down and you can't make it into a new paper product. The fibers just get really small and it's not good for the recycling process.
Okay.
And then also greasy pizza boxes. So I don't know if you know this, but greasy pizza boxes can't be recycled. I usually rip off the top of it because the top is fine. It doesn't have any grease on it. And I'll recycle the cardboard top of the pizza box and then compost the greasy part. So if you want to go the extra step, you can do that. But yeah, those are essentially all the items that can be composted.
And then, of course, commercial, like businesses can get involved in composting. Is that kind of along the same lines? And contact you guys at the city? And
Contact us if you want to have a training. We offer trainings in English and Spanish for especially like restaurants to teach them how to separate the organic waste. We have bins we can provide you for free to set up in your kitchen. So you have like these green receptacles that you're preparing for the night. You slide it in and it's done. And we can help you purchase a receptacle for outside, which is the bear-proof receptacles. They're metal. So just contact us. Getting the businesses on board is really what we want to hone in on because we have so many awesome restaurants in Aspen, and what comes with a restaurant naturally is food waste. So we want to capture all of that so we're not adding all that methane and volume to the landfill because we want to save the landfill space.
Exactly. So there's a number of reasons why we want to do that. You know, when Kathy was on the show, Kathy Hall from the Solid Waste Center, she estimated 6 to 8 years with the new land, or what they call the new cell, that they just opened up, the extension of the landfill. But it could go quicker than that. So we have a very, very limited life of our landfill. You know, and she said, by the way, from the way this town produces trash, it might be less than 6 years. So it's the life of the landfill, it's the environment, it's the releasing of methane gas, which creates, greenhouse effect, more heating that we're seeing in the news here, especially the heat wave in Europe going on right now as an example. Texas already has like over 100-degree days this year. So you're seeing that manifest currently in the environment. What are some other ways we can kind of ways like you like to reduce your carbon footprint, Ainsley? Like easy ways, that just day to day.
Easy ways, I bring my reusable bag to the grocery store with me. I know some people have a hard time remembering that, but keeping them in your car or like in the garage next to your car, something like that. Riding my bike around town.
Or using one of these reusables.
Nice
it's called a backpack.
Those are really great.
Pretty easy. Just put that on your back and throw your groceries and whatnot in there.
I take the bus every day. We have a really awesome bus system. It has become more popular, I think, with the gas prices and just the worker shortages. There's more people on a bus, but it's fine. I'll wait for the next one. And buying local produce. I love supporting our local farmers because they do a lot of great things for our environment. A lot of them produce organically. They might be applying compost to their land because they know that they want to keep their land producing crops. And the way to do that is adding those fertilizers that are natural and won't hurt it down the line. So, a couple things like that.
Yeah, and that local food has full energy too. It's not being shipped for weeks like from Peru or Ecuador, where it loses value and things like that.
The embodied
all that
carbon
footprint traveling around the world.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say it right now. Fiji Water is such a huge offender because they make the bottles in the U.S., have them filled in Fiji, and then shipped again around the world. I mean, that is a massive... I mentioned pica footprint. That's Godzilla.
Oh, no.
And so, I mean, there's some things that we don't need to have cases of Voss.
Yes.
Like stacked up.
Reusable
We got
bottle.
reusables here. I got my other bottle here.
Bring
all
your
kinds of stuff.
Mug to the coffee shop, your reusable cup. They're doing that again. I know it kind of paused from COVID, but there's no, COVID is like an in the air kind of thing. So bringing your own cup, they've been fine with it. They might rinse it out or something. But yeah, reusables is the number one way to go.
Did you have fun on the show today,
I had
Ainsley?
a lot of fun. There's so much to talk about that we didn't get to.
There's so much to talk about, but we got some great ideas, and how easy it is to compost, how easy it is to pick up litter. We were talking before the show about that.
If you walk by it and see it, you're like, pick it up, and then someone else sees you, and they're like, oh, that's a good idea. I should also pick up that litter. I could have done that.
Yeah, wow, that looked easy. And we like to say, just bend at the waist and pick up the waste.
Love it.
Use a pet pickup. They're available free almost everywhere, and you don't have to touch the gross litter.
If you don't want
to.
Yeah, use that bag.
Yeah.
But
so here's an example of reusing.
I love it.
Repurposing.
Do that all the
upcycling?
time.
I don't know. I think it would be upcycle. If you're using it for another purpose?
Yeah, so upcycling versus downcycling. Upcycling is when you can use it for a higher purpose, and downcycling is like when it's a lower purpose. But I think that's pretty equivalent.
I think with my cookies in there, it's a higher purpose
yeah,
than
upcycling,
apples.
Definitely.
So thanks for joining us,
Thank you for
Ainsley.
having me.
Thank you for all you do.
Yeah, if people call the Environmental Health and Sustainability Department, send me an email, check out our website for more information. Happy to help anyone reduce their greenhouse gas footprint by composting their food waste.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This has been great.
It's been awesome.
I want to make it an hour show next time.
Yes, definitely.
And thank you guys above all for watching this week on The Local Show.
The Gonzo Foundation is a nonprofit organization created to promote literature, journalism, and political activism through the legacy of Hunter S. Thompson, and is a proud supporter of The Local Show and GrassRoots TV. For more information, visit thegonzofoundation.org.
Locally owned and located at the base of Aspen Highlands, Highlands Ale House features delicious scratch-made comfort food, cocktails, beer, and more. Their sunny outdoor deck is ski in, ski out. 2 miles from Aspen, they're open daily, winter and summer.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Donate, shop, and save. The Mother Lode Mercantile, now open at the Picken County Landfill.
Celebrating our 26th anniversary, Sundog Athletics is your opportunity to experience Aspen's most amazing adventure locations and gain new skills to increase your safety, performance, and enjoyment while mountain biking, road biking, hiking, and paddling on Aspen's exclusive canoeing adventure. Like Sundog Athletics on Facebook for fresh adventure updates.
Welcome to